So you're at Cohen Milstein, a firm called a Class Action Powerhouse.
I was at Cohen Milstein until I started my own
So,
firm. Yeah.
so what made you walk away from that to go solo? And what was that like? I mean, was that tense? I mean, especially you're going into personal injury and people don't know, I mean, usually you don't make money right away. You almost have to have somebody backing you or, or a loan company or something. A lot of people don't understand the whole process. Give me some about the emotional part of, leaving this big cocoon and just stepping out on your own.
That's a great question. So yeah, when I was at Cohen, I did the same type of work I do today. So it's all catastrophic injury, wrongful death. But yes, they do have a huge class action practice. But I think it came to the point where I know how far I can go, and I don't want to rely on other people to tell me what my capabilities are. And I think when you work at any large company, whether it could be a large firm or a large business, you're you're almost relying on the subjective opinion of people above you that may not take the time to know you or may not want to give, or have their own competing interests as to maybe limiting or deciding what your capabilities are or how much they're going to let you shine to show those capabilities. I loved my time at Cohen Milstein. I think everybody there is great. My bosses were great. My mentor was great. I'm the trial lawyer I am because of the people that I worked with, particularly my mentor. But I also wanted to give it my own shot. To me, I mentioned Rocky Balboa, you mentioned Atticus Finch, like this idea, there's this corporatization of the law. And I'm not talking about Cohen Milstein, but I am talking maybe about some of these larger advertising personal injury firms where you're less of a case and more of portfolio.
Yep, yep, yep.
And to me, I want to live in a community where my neighbors know that I have their back and that they know me and know, who I am, what I stand for. And I can make small differences in a few people's lives or maybe big differences in a few people's lives to help them to get better and to help take the burden, off their neighbors, take the burden off them and put the burden on these companies that cause them harm to help them give an opportunity to get better.
So you and your wife Googled best places to raise kids, and let me see if my researcher has this right. And that's how you ended up in Chapel Hill. And you moved there? Is that right? You didn't know anyone?
I don't know anybody. So, I grew up in New York, right? Loved growing up in New York, was there till I was 18. Left New York, went to the University of Maryland, College Park. Of course, didn't know anybody at Maryland, didn't know anybody at College Park, but I liked having a big school because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. After College Park, I said, I'm going to give a chance to live in the Midwest. The boxing, was part of it. Went up to Minnesota, loved my time in the Midwest, Minneapolis. Then I decided I wanted to, give back and as being an assistant public defender. Didn't know anybody in South Florida, nobody. The only thing I knew about South Florida is that a lot of people from New York retire down there, right? So I moved from Minnesota down to West Palm Beach, didn't know a soul. But every time I've taken big risks like this, it's turned out well for me. And so there wasn't much hesitation for me just picking a spot on the map that worked for me and my family and then moving there.